Yo,
Hey.
we're live.
All right.
What's up, party people? Welcome to the Q&A. This is live Q&A. This is the Mixtape team, and we're excited to dive into some questions regarding Escape from Tall Oaks. My name is Matt.
I'm Freddie.
MJ.
And this is the crew. We have a few people who sent us some questions ahead of time, so that's always nice because it gives us a little place to start. We can go from there. But we'll give it a little bit of time too to get some people to join us and start knocking through
Questions.
some details. Yeah. Do you guys want to? What's that?
We got 3 people on.
Hey, there we go. Do you want to go ahead and start with some of the ones we have that people already wrote in?
Yeah, sure. All right, so one of the first questions we got was from Nick C. And it was, who came up with the idea and design behind Mixtape Massacre? Are the characters based on any scary movie villains or survivors? So, okay. I guess the first part's pretty easy. We kind of came up with the idea for the original game a long time ago, back in 2014. It was basically, we've told the story 1,000 times, but it's basically we had a game night, and we were kind of bored with kind of the games we were playing, and a lot of people didn't like how long it took to learn the rules, so we thought we could come up with something simpler and something that had a horror vibe to it. And basically the design and development of it were the team right here. The characters, they're all inspired, obviously, by...
Yeah, definitely.
By villains from the 80s. Some of them 90s. All the characters are basically amalgamates, as we like to call them. They're a mixture of multiple characters. You've got your mask killers, your prom queens, your monsters, and things like that. And then in terms of the survivors, I would say the focus amongst us was to do something with more stereotypes involved, like
right.
your cliche characters. That are in
classic
like
80s stereotypes.
You've got your
got your jock, you got your cheerleader, you got your nerdy kid,
your goth girl.
Yeah, you got your outlier, your kind of outsider kids. So.
B-boys, stuff
Hi,
like
George.
that.
Hello. Yeah, so definitely all the characters were, and the villains obviously are, we wanted to make references to characters and kind of things that horror fans are familiar with, but put our own spin on it too.
And poke fun at it.
Yeah. So
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's where that really came from. So hopefully, Nick, that answers your question. I'm gonna mix these questions up a little.
It is Mixtape Massacre. So.
Yeah, and by all means, if you have questions, just type it in the comment section, and we will answer your questions as we go. So
yeah, and just a general statement, like we're hoping that people can use this as an opportunity to ask questions about the current Kickstarter we have going on, which is Escape from Tall Oaks. It's live on Kickstarter right now. We did get it funded the first 24 hours, which was awesome. We were super stoked on that and thankful for the support. And now we're marching through stretch goals. We just unlocked a new character, a new survivor for the game, which is really cool. And we have some really awesome other things lined up as the campaign grows. So, we're hoping we can use this as an opportunity to answer anybody's questions about that. And just the mixtape world in general, obviously. But yeah, definitely want to try to tackle any questions people have about the new game that's coming out that we're super stoked for.
The Matt Hicks has a question. Can you play the original and the new expansion together with 2 players, or do you need more? Well, first, something to clarify. The game itself is not just an expansion. It's also a standalone game. So you can't do the 2 towns together with just 2 people. It's really going to be you can mix killers and survivors together on the old board or the new board, but you can't really put the 2 boards together and do just 2 people.
Yeah.
It's too much landscape. What you're going to want is around 5 or more people to do both boards, so you can have an equal amount of people on each side, and an equal amount of killers and such.
Right, because the fun comes when there's a lot of action, and you'd be kind of with only 2 people. It's too much real estate. You'd kind of be spread thin across Tall Oaks. So
too much traveling.
too much roaming around the town. So you definitely probably want I would say 4 or 5 or more, definitely. And that's where like the whole party game comes in. A lot of people enjoy the original Mixtape as a party game. Escape from Tall Oaks is definitely going to also be a fun party game. So when putting them together, we wanted to just really take it up a notch with a game that you could go, have like 8 people, even 10 people play and have a really fun time with a lot of action and a lot of chaos going on. You got it, man.
Yep. Ryan M. Will Mixtape ever be available to ship to the UK? I would kill to get it. In-game killing, obviously. That's kind of where the Kickstarters come in. I mean, if you guys want to compare it to anything, we're kind of like an indie movie. Indie movies, you only see them in certain theaters. We're only available in certain areas, and right now that's the US. But when we do things like Kickstarters, we do have the ability to do bulk shipping to international markets. So when we do have Kickstarters, that's the best time if you're an international customer to grab the game. And the cool thing is with this Kickstarter, at the end of it, post Kickstarter, if you back the game and you're from an international market, you by all means can also add on the original game to your package to ship to you, so you can get everything all in one big bundle.
Right. Yeah. So we tell any international backers, because we get this question a lot, and it stinks to not be able to have the game ship worldwide, but the reality of it is that shipping has just been the most challenge for us. It's expensive, and we just don't want to offer a shipping. We don't want to offer shipping for the same amount or even more in some cases than what it costs for the actual product. It just seems silly. So we're constantly looking for better ways to offer it. Worldwide shipping or even international shipping. So Kickstarter, when we're doing a Kickstarter, is a great way because we are able to offer, partner with a fulfillment company and get international shipping. So international backers of the current Kickstarter will have access to our full catalog. So they'll be able to get all the other stuff, that's currently in our online shop. So, definitely try to jump in on the Kickstarter now and take advantage of the opportunity to get it shipped to the UK. Thanks, Ryan.
Next question is from Kristen. I was going to buy this game but couldn't find any reviews. Is it worth the price?
Kristen, we're biased.
Yeah, we're biased, but there's tons of reviews on all of our ads. If you go to Board Game Geek, there's a slew of reviews. There's reviews on the site. And I'm sure some people in the comments section can reply to you and give you their thoughts.
Or they have.
Yeah, and the other thing is we just to, add to that, not every board game is for everybody. Mm-hmm. Our game is for a specific group of people. If you love horror, if you grew up in the 80s and 90s and you love nostalgia, if you like games that have an easier barrier to entry, that's what our game is for. It's not a high strategy game. It's not, it's not going to take you hours to learn the rules. But
the new one's more high strategy.
It's got layers to it.
It
has layers. But the idea behind it is that we made it for a certain group, and we made it for ourselves, who, like we said in the beginning, is we were looking for something that kind of fit this niche that is more of a party game and has an awesome theme wrapped around it, and we've really tried to keep adding layers and layers with expansions and now the second game. So it's a lot of fun, and there's definitely tons of reviews out there. So, obviously we're going to say it's worth the price, right?
John says, I'm planning on taking my copy of Mixtape to Texas Frightmare weekend this year. Y'all should really try to make it out next year.
Yeah, we've heard a lot about that.
We've tried to sign up for it multiple times. Every time we try to get a booth, we're unable to.
It's sold out, yeah.
George says, totally worth the price. So, Kristen, take his word for it.
There you go.
John also says, totally worth the price. I've been following this since the beginning. I love this game. Jeremy. Thanks, Jeremy. Will this expansion be 6 players max? No, so the standalone game, it's not just an expansion. We're continually explaining this for some reason. So the new game, Escape from Tall Oaks, is a standalone game. It by itself is 6 players. If you add it to the old game and put the 2 towns together, survivors versus slashers, it is 12 players.
Up to 12.
Up to 12. Yeah. And you can generally play with between 4 plus to 12. So if you're really, 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 really looking for a way to add more players to your game nights, and you own the original, adding this to it will do so. But also, it's just going to be a fun game on its own. So if you don't own the original game, you can still jump in on this and have a great time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and just to speak a little bit about when we were designing it, we thought like it just adds a lot of value to be able to buy a new game that plays standalone. It's an awesome experience, but then it's kind of a different experience if you have the the original, or vice versa. If you have the original already and you buy this, it's going to add on to it. So we wanted to be able to get kind of this bonus where you get an awesome game, but then you also get an expansion as well. So I'm sure that's a question we'll have to
continually answer.
But yeah, the good thing is it's all good. It's all good stuff.
Joe says that's great for the international fans. Haunted Palace Brewery says yes, it is worth it. Eric Noga, I have told everyone I can about the game. I love it as a fan of horror movies, and you guys are top notch. Thanks, Eric.
Thanks, Eric.
Bradley, I really enjoyed Mixtape Massacre in terms of ease to learn it and okay, so this is another review. The one disappointment I found with Mixtape was that the board picked up markings quite easily. That's the matte printing.
But it looks so good.
Yeah, but it looks nice.
Good.
I love the fact that new players can drop in easily and build from there. I play a lot of complicated games. Okay. What made you want to make Mixtape Massacre? I'm a horror fan since I was a kid, so that's why I wanted to make it. The illustration.
Well, yeah. I mean, we kind of, that was one of the questions we opened with, was what kind of the idea behind the game. But a quick recap is, we saw kind of a gap in the market for. There's a lot of zombie games out there that we saw, but there wasn't really like a slasher game. And I know people are gonna say that there's a few. We know that those other ones are out there, but this one was really, there was a couple differences. One was that you play as the bad guys. That was kind of our first take on it.
Yeah.
The other one was that we did want to kind of keep it retro and keep it simple. We went with character standees. It is kind of roll to move. So there's a lot of like old school characteristics that are designed into the game on purpose.
It makes it approachable.
Yeah, and it makes it approachable.
People look at the game and they're like, "Oh, it reminds me of Clue, or it reminds me of Dungeons and Dragons."
It's very
like
retro.
It's gridded, and it's like, so you feel like you know how to play it right when you step up to the game, which was part of the idea.
It's not intimidating.
And then the only other thing I would say about why we made it is also we have our team here. We do a lot of design for the clients, and we have we've been doing design for a long time, and art and design. But this was, kind of one of our first major attempts at putting our own product into the market, which we had been wanting to do for a long time. So
Absolutely.
This was a chance for us to put our own thing out and really do a passion project that we could turn into something.
Something we love.
Yeah, exactly.
It's something we love. Is there homage to specific 80s horror movies?
Oh, so many.
I mean, there's so many. That's the whole thing. It's clearly inspired by the 80s. It's clearly inspired by great films of the 80s, or not great films, depending upon your opinions on movies.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But even not even just horror movies.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. There's
just
like
80s pop culture.
There's
and
tons
early
of,
90s.
Yeah, there's tons of nods to just things we grew up on, things we love. Some of the comments we sometimes get from people is they think because we're millennials that we know nothing of the 80s, yet we grew up on this stuff.
I don't know if we're millennials.
We're not millennials, but I mean, it's something we grew up in, so it's something we kind of hold dear, and from a nostalgia sake, it's just something we kind of like to talk about. Would you ever consider going to a digital format for PvP functionality, player versus player functionality? Digital. When you say digital, if you mean by video games, I think that would be cool one day. I don't think we're there yet. If you mean digital as in like one of these, like they take your game and put it into a digital format to play, eventually.
I don't really know enough about that.
Yeah. Well, no, it wouldn't be us doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be something we eventually do, but the thing I kind of like about a board game and a physical board game and not digital is that it gets you and your friends to sit down and not play a video game. So that's kind of why we made it.
And we get tons of comments of people that are like, this got us away from our phones, this got us away from the screens, it got us away from Netflix, and we sat down and played it and had a great time. So we definitely value that. Yeah, for sure.
Real quick, Eric Lee replying to Bradley, can find really nice foldable dice bowls on Amazon. And I think Bradley, what he means by that is instead of rolling the dice on the board, you can roll it in the bowl to not scratch up your board. Because it tends to be a thing that happens to a lot of boards. I really dig the expansion, separate game model, best of both worlds. Will Wilhelm, is there any chance... Whoa. Just lost it. Is there any chance we will get this before November? I can't wait. Y'all continue to put out a great...
I hope so.
I mean, we hope so, but...
If we were printing it ourselves, yes.
Yeah, if anyone...
It just takes a while.
If anyone knows the things that go through with Kickstarters, half the time any delays are not on our end. It's just that shipping can be a pain in the butt, and manufacturing... Things can come up, they can get behind. We're really at the mercy of the manufacturers. We work with a really good team, though, Panda Game. They're an awesome team. They do great work. But they're just like anyone else. Sometimes you get bogged down with too much work and can't get things out too fast.
Well, yeah, and the fact is it just takes a long time. We go through, rounds to make sure everything's top-notch, and then we have to create all the art and the design, and then honestly, it also just takes a long time for them to manufacture it and ship it to us. So... Getting something, kickstarted and then coming out in the same year is practically unheard of. So that's what we're shooting for, and
unless it's really already made,
and we're going for that. Yeah.
Oh, this one, Anthony Willis. Will there be a new playlist for the new game?
Well, we've been adding.
Yeah, the playlist is just ever growing, ever expanding thing.
I don't know. We could end up doing some kind of side up, but I really like just adding to the current playlist.
How many songs are on that?
There's like close to 300 now.
So many.
Yeah, so there's a lot. So yeah, just
hit shuffle.
Subscribe to that bad boy, and it's ever evolving and growing. So yeah, maybe we'll, with the new game coming out, we can maybe do some spin-off themes for the playlist.
We did get some recommendations at Monster Mania.
I'm sure. Yeah.
My other question is, when you combine the games for slashers versus survivors, is the team against team, or is this still every man for himself? It is. It's meta. It is still every man for themselves in a sense that one person is going to win. It is, but there is different game modes of play. But in the end, it really is still the survivors are trying to escape. But instead of having those three non-playable characters coming after you, it's going to be other actual players coming after you. And they are going to want to make the kill to win the game. They're going to want to take out one of the survivors, and you are going to want to avoid them. So at the end of the day, it's sort of teams because the killer's focus is still mainly taking out the survivors. The survivors is still making those tasks and getting out. But it's not going to be like red team, blue team. You're still going to betray each other and hurt each other. What's each of your favorite killers in the game?
Yeah, Shane's asking what are each of our favorites, favorite killers?
Like in all of Mixtape?
No, our favorite. Yeah, favorite characters.
So go ahead.
I think people have asked this question before. I think I like Smiley. Smiley's kind of my guy. I think.
Buddy's always my dude.
Yeah, Buddy.
I like Legend.
Yeah, Freddy always goes with the Legend.
Legend or Bad Dad?
Classic.
Bad Dad.
And then John's asking, what's one movie / slasher that we haven't incorporated but would like to?
That's a good question.
So I'll speak to this a little bit. I mean, last year we put out booster packs, which are an awesome little way for us to start getting new characters into the game. And also adds a little bit of new gameplay too. You get some new cards, and it's just like a cool way for us to keep enhancing the Mixtape world. So we have a list of characters and ideas. I mean, again, obviously we're not trying to directly. Well, we're also not trying to direct. I mean, we put our own spin on characters, and a lot of them are mashups. So we might be taking, with Bad Dad, for example.
Bad Dad's just it's a combination of so many horrible father characters from horror movies.
Right. But there's a few that you could attach to him really quickly.
Stepdad,
The Shining.
Right. There's just horrible fathers to pull from.
Right. So I think
you always want to reference this.
Yeah. With each time, we're trying to put 2 or 3 references into it so that it makes it kind of our own unique spin and puts it cool. But yeah, we have. I don't know any specific ones off the top, but we have a long list of new characters that we're hoping to add.
We've got some holiday-themed characters. So I've got a couple questions here from people. With the killers versus survivors mechanic, how will gameplay be done with players on during different games? Will the slasher token be taken out if there is a killer versus survivors game? So the killers from Escape from Tall Oaks will be taken out when you combine the 2 games, but that slasher tracking device will still be in the game. It's just going to call either a slasher on the board to you when it gets full, or it'll make all the slashers on the board get on killing sprees when it's fully lit. So you're going to want to keep noise down to make sure you're not giving the other players an advantage when they're coming after you.
Right, because the idea is we want to remove the mechanical game piece so that you're playing against the other people, which is going to make it a lot of fun.
How does Escape from Tall Oaks combine with the original? We've talked about this before, but it's basically the boards will connect at the end. So I think it's like the well's going to connect where the comic shop is and stuff like that.
And both of the boards are the exact same size, and they are designed so you're basically just extending your town.
Yeah, it just looks
cool.
like
they
one
pair
full
up
town.
really cool, and it looks really awesome when you have both boards together on the table.
And then basically the way you'll move between the two boards, if you probably haven't figured it out yet, is actually through the sewers. So the nice thing is if you're on the other side of the town and you need to get to the other side of the other town, you can always take a blue sewer to a blue sewer or an orange sewer to an
Unless
orange
there's
sewer.
monsters in the sewer.
That's true.
And they're closed.
That's true. That's true. But that's basically how you'll be able to move between the two boards. So I mean, the gameplay won't change so dramatically. Oh, wait,
There's a train.
There's a train. The gameplay is not going to play so dramatically that people feel completely lost, but there are going to be some shakeups and some different things that take place. Will you do another playthrough for the new game like you have with the original? I think they made like the funny one. Yeah, we're definitely gonna when we have an actual, instead of just a printout, we're gonna have a full prototype.
Yeah, when we get our prototype back from the manufacturer, we can definitely schedule one. I mean, we know people always like to see the playthroughs, and we enjoy doing them. So yeah, that's definitely on our list to do.
I guess we should get Liz.
She's a fan favorite.
She's a fan favorite. People love having Liz make fun of us.
Let's get the whole band back together.
Holly says, "What? Sweet."
Does anyone have any other questions? I think that's it from our list. Oh wait, the Hanson Goons. Want to join Shutter's Discord and watch Return of Joe Briggs with us? I don't think we'll be able to do that.
Pick actors for the roles of the survivors in your game.
If I was to pick actors for them?
I don't know. Is that what they're asking? That would be fun. We've even. I mean, I always like trying to cast our characters. That would be fun.
Who did you say would play Bad Dad? Timothy Oliphant?
He did pretty good, I think.
Well, no. Well, not. He wasn't for Bad Dad. He was for.
I thought it was Bad Dad.
Oh, yeah, that.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. We're not going to talk about that. Give secrets away.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
But no, who did... I swear we...
Casting their survivors would be fun.
Just do Nick Cage.
Yeah, Nick Cage for everyone. Nick Cage plays everyone in the game.
Sure.
Nick Cage is...
He plays everybody.
Every character. That would be dream.
That would be amazing.
Sign me up.
That'd be a dream for him. Wait, what is this?
That's funny.
Jenny says hi. Hi, Jenny. I'm really excited for FTO. Is there any way you will be able to share some secrets about the killer scene cards? Like, what movies are they based on? No, not right now.
No, sorry.
Sorry to disappoint, but
Garrett,
no, but I
just
mean, what
gave you
else
a
could
hard
we
pass.
talk about? That
I mean,
is in the
it's
game?
like anything else. We like making jokes and references when we can, and it won't, But I think right now we don't.
Well, there's tons of references. Yeah, I don't know if we talk about any specifically, but just the references we have on the Kickstarter. You'll be able to check out all of the. Right now, we have all the artwork up for the survivors, and you can check all their backstories and their music genre and their funny quotes and stuff. So there's a bunch of stuff up there that will give you some insight into some of the references. Most of the characters have a little reference to some movie, one or another, whether it's the name of their a special ability or their playlist or their song.
Yeah. I mean, there's always just
so there's just so many layers. I mean, we try to really cram in stuff that it might sometimes even just be like
dead obvious.
Well, dead obvious, or sometimes it might be far removed. People don't even get it. But,
that is true. There's sometimes,
but there's so much stuff
Real
that
deep
we try to
cuts.
really put into the game in terms of references.
I mean, it's just like a person like directing and making a movie. You always pay homage or make a reference to things you love.
Yeah.
That's the idea with this.
Layers to this shit.
Yeah, there's always layers. Does anyone else have any other questions? Going on 35 minutes. All right.
Yeah, so just to reiterate, with the Kickstarter's for Escape from Tall Oaks is up right now. It's funded, which means it's definitely happening. We're super happy about that and super grateful for all the backers so far. There's still a couple weeks to get in on it and spread the good word. Help us unlock some more of those stretch goals that we've been talking about. And as always, we're really active on the campaign. So drop some comments. Hit us up on Facebook, whatever, if you have questions. And we like doing stuff like this so that we can really kind of engage and see what people are excited about or get feedback from everybody. So thanks for checking us out. If we don't have any more questions,
Yeah, is that it for everyone?
then we can sign off. But I think the video will still be up, so people can comment and leave questions, and we'll still reply.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, absolutely. We're always here to answer questions.
absolutely.
All right, I think that's gonna do it.
Sweet.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks for
Thanks.
thanks for rolling with us, and we'll see you guys next time.